Hello, Simone and the Juneteenth Committee. My name is Akivah Northern, and I'm really so happy. Thank you, Simone, for inviting me to participate in this Juneteenth celebration by telling some of our family stories, our Santa Barbara family stories. Many of you who know me know that one of our greatest source of pride for our family was the election of my late husband, Babatunde Folalyemi, to the Santa Barbara City Council. He was the first African American to be elected in the city's history, and it was a great source of joy for us when he was elected. He was able to pull together a number of different diverse communities in order to be elected, including the business sector, the city government, the county government, and many nonprofits. And it stemmed from his work with youth in the city as the executive director of the Pro Youth Coalition. And because of that work with the youth and with the families and with the police in Santa Barbara under Chief Breeza, they were able to really engage families and change lives and reduce gang violence by 84%. So many people got to know him because of his work. He was an amazing man, articulate and brilliant, and we all miss him very much. He passed away in 2012. So I think that was one of the greatest source of pride for our family in Santa Barbara. I think another one was Auntie B and my mother came to live with us. And talk about resilient, Black resilience. These were women that were born in the early 1900s. My Auntie B was born in 1907, and she lived in Santa Barbara with us for the last 5 years of her life until she was 108 years old. And she was charming and amazing and engaging and excited about life every day. And so they were resilient. They supported us as a couple. They supported my son as a aspiring filmmaker. They encouraged us to pursue our highest dreams and aspirations. I think that's one of the reasons why at this stage of my life I'm pursuing my doctorate, because of the courage that my mother and Auntie B and my whole family, my dad, gave me as I was growing up. So that's the story of some of the pride that we have at living in Santa Barbara and the resilience of our family. Now I want to talk a little bit about Black joy. One of the things that I feel is a source of Black joy is Black men's smiles. I think that they have the most amazing, beautiful, flirtatious smiles. And especially in this season when we are grieving and mourning the loss of many Black people, innocent Black people, and that we have to shout that Black lives matter. Simone and committee, this question of Black joy is extremely important, because I think we have to, even in the midst of this season when there's so much anger, we have to vision for ourselves Black joy. We have to know Black joy. And we have to seek for it and aspire for it politically, socially, economically, and of course spiritually. So I want to paint a vision of Black joy for us. It has to do with the experiences that my family and I, my son, my husband, in 1972, when he was only 2 years old, we went back to Africa. We went back to East Africa, to Tanzania to live. And we lived there for 5 years at the invitation of Mwalimu, the president of Tanzania. And there were 500 African Americans repatriating at the time. And the beauty of Africa, the beauty of living on the Indian Ocean, the beauty of lives Black people's lives that mattered, that we could breathe. It was just such an amazing and inspirational experience. It changed our lives and changed the trajectory of our lives because of what we experienced there. And when we came back in 1977, I had a dream, and it has to do with Black joy. I still have that dream. I've been talking about it, especially in the midst of our reminding people that Black lives matter. I have a vision that we would have a place, a space set aside in Africa. And I call it the homeland. And it would be where Black men could breathe, and Black women could breathe, and Black children could find joy and laughter. And it's not just an imaginary place, but an actual place that we would be given through the logistics that we could work out to build and to grow. Many Jewish people have American citizenship, but they also have citizenship in their homeland, in Israel. And so I vision this for Africans from the diaspora, especially those who have suffered from North American slavery, to be able to go there and to have the resources and the support to actually heal from the brokenness that we've suffered. So my vision of Black joy has to do with the fact that our national anthem in our homeland in Africa, that we would not stand at attention, but that we would dance, literally dance to our national anthem and be filled with joy. So I want to cast that vision out for us as Black people. As many of you know who have probably gardened, nothing grows without something very, very small. And I'm showing you some seeds. I hope you can see them in my hand. Those are very, very tiny things. But when you plant seeds and you water them, you plant seeds and you water them, you're going to get a garden. So I want to take you to our garden. I'm living here with my brother and his family as I finish my doctoral degree. I'm in my final year, and his wife does a lot of planting, and I help her. But I want to take you from those seeds and show you what we have in our garden. So here's our garden, and I'm with my brother and his wife near Loma Linda, and Deb is a wonderful gardener, and over here we have collard greens that we harvested last week and ate that were really delicious. We have our beautiful luscious cabbage. We have our ever-present roses. And here we have just absolutely luscious little tomatoes that are growing. And we have eggplant. And over here, hidden under the greens, we have squash growing. So from the seeds that we plant, just like this garden, Deb has planted things to protect the garden, that will keep the butterflies happy, and that will keep other predators away. There are different plants here that have served different purposes, and they're planted together for a reason. So as we take our seeds, our dreams, and plant, know that that's going to empower us as a people. Our vision is extremely important now, and planting those seeds and watering and growing and tending our garden, especially economically, socially, culturally, and spiritually. We need to plant all of those seeds so that we can live and breathe. So, in closing, I just want to cast my vision for Santa Barbara. I think that as we plant a seed, that we would have a Black street, that we would have a place where we could gather for music and for dance and for poetry and for talks and to eat and to share meals together. That's going to be a really important part of our lives in Santa Barbara, that we build a Black street that Sojourner calls Black Street, that can pop up at any moment, at any time. But I have a vision that we plant that and that we grow that and that we actually are able to come together on Black Street in Santa Barbara. So thank you so much for Juneteenth celebration. It's so critical in this season that we remember where we come from, that we remember where we are, and that we vision where we want to be. I want to close with a scripture, and it's from Ezekiel. It's from Ecclesiastics, and it says, there's a time for everything. There's a time to plant and a time to grow, a time to be silent and a time to speak, a time to dance and a time to sing. May we as Black people plant, grow, dance, and sing. God bless you, Simone, committee.